What's going on, guys? It's Chandler with the channel. Come back to you again with another video. Today we've got a good one for you. Of course, everyone knows 2020 has been an absolute wild ride in terms of the ammo shortage. Today we're going to talk about 4 tips that you can use when you go to the range to make the most out of your ammo. Tip number 1, don't waste a lot of your time while at the range going through the things you could have already perfected. So what does that mean? When you go to the range, you want to be able to do the one thing you obviously can't do in your home, and that's live fire. You can get pretty carried away and pretty overwhelmed very easily of things that you want to do and things that you want to get better at, which is great. However, a lot of times you can get carried away at the range and just burn through ammo and ammo and ammo. But as we've seen before in Trevor's video on dry fire, there's a lot of things that you can do at your house that can save you time and ammo at the range. For more details on the full dry fire analysis, check out Trevor's video from the channel. I'll leave a link like right here. Tip number 2, budget your ammunition. As we all know, we all love to go out to the range and absolutely dump a magazine. Oftentimes that isn't very productive, at least in most of the way it's done, unless you're trying to perfect your skills in doing fast and accurate. However, in this day and age, with ammo being so short, perfecting those skills may be more difficult or more expensive. Now, what do we mean by budget your ammunition? There's a couple ways to employ this. So you can either take only what you want to use and no more, period, so that way when you run out, you're out and you can go home, or actually budget how you buy your ammunition. Now, even in this time, we don't want to buy ammunition, but you know, some people aren't as lucky as others and we don't get to stockpile ammunition. Here's what you can do. Compare what you're spending on ammunition then to now. What we bought, a bulk pack, 1,000 rounds of 9mm, used to be able to get it for, say, $150 to make it easy. Now, that same 1,000 rounds of 9mm, instead of $150, it's more like $450, $500. Chances are you won't be able to increase your ammo budget, so your ammo budget is probably going to stay the same. So your money's not going to go as far. 1/3 of the ammo for the same price. So instead of having 1,000 rounds, you'll have 300 rounds, which means you're going to have 1/3 of the rounds to work with. So with that, you might want to think about, well, maybe I should use 1/3 of the ammo at a range day. So budgeting your ammo and knowing what ammo you can buy is going to be very important. Budgeting your ammunition leads us straight into our 3rd point. Get the most out of every single round fired. Go back, we'll play the clip again. You want to do this, however, it's not going to be the most practical thing to do. Now, we say this before and we'll say it again and even amplifies now. You need to make every round count at the range anyway. Sometimes we just get carried away. Kind of goes down to, if you practice all the same and the correct fundamentals, you'll make the most out of every round anyway. Couple examples of that. So if I'm at the range and I'm firing, when I pull the trigger and fire, I definitely do not want to just come back down immediately, which you're not supposed to do that anyway. You want to stay up and fire, and even if you don't intend firing another round, you still want to follow through and get your sights back on target like you would be. So even if you're not doing a string of 10 rounds, maybe you're only doing a string of 3 rounds, since you only have 1/3 of the ammo, you follow through and you go, okay, on your last round, you fire, get your sights back, and that's where you end. So follow through and don't cut yourself short. Another tip on making the most of your ammunition, get with your friends, maybe go in on a 1,000 round bulk pack since you can't afford 1,000 rounds a piece anymore. And instead of everyone focusing on the same things, talk to your friends and see if they can spot, you know, what's your weakness, what's your weakness, what's your weakness. A lot of times that comes out anyway when going to the range. I know with us at least it does. And have them help you allot your ammunition to what you need to work on. Of course, we're all about going to be making the most of everything. A lot of the times, if everyone is doing a drill, everyone will do the same drill. And then everyone competes to the same drill, and you want to keep doing it to push each other to get better. But in a situation where you don't have the rounds that you had before, instead of using your rounds to practice a drill that you're proficient in at the time and you've got other things, trying to make the most of every round, if you're good in that department and there's another skill that you really need to get better, then work on that. Another example of getting the most out of your ammunition, maybe everyone needs to practice shooting on the move drills. as well as follow-up shots. The point is you want to interweave as many of these skills as you can over time once you're ready and at that stage to improve them all at the same time. Now, disclaimer, sometimes you can't do this, and too early in your skills, if you try to do this, you'll botch everything. So before you start doing that, you want to make sure that you have the fundamentals down, which again, you can do in dry fire and beginner skills at the range, such as follow-up shots, follow through, and trigger control, things like that nature. And lastly, tip number 4, do what you can to make training more affordable. And this is going to be kind of an odd one. Some people may agree with this, some people may not, because it has some caveats. Now, to some people, this may mean reloading ammunition, and if you can do that, that's fantastic, keep doing that. However, if you're like us and we don't have the ability to remanufacture or reload ammunition, we look to other ways. Ways, an example like this. This is a CMMG 22 long rifle bolt replacement for an AR-15. Take your regular 223 bolt out and drop in a 22 long rifle bolt, and you can shoot 22 as opposed to 223. Now, yes, there are a lot of caveats with this. 22 often does shoot dirtier. It does not have as much recoil, obviously, but your manual of arms is still going to be the same. And if you practice your fundamentals the same, if you don't need to work on recoil control and you're good with it, maybe all you need to do is to get your AR, drop in your 22 bolt, and practice your manual of arms as opposed to a lot of recoil control. You can go through much cheaper ammunition. You can still get almost 1,000 rounds of 22 for a sixth of the price, and that gives you a lot more leeway in terms of what you can spend each range day. Now, granted, 22 used to be like $20 for 500 rounds, but in the situation we're in, you kind of have to weigh it around. I've tested this and it works great. Obviously, 22 ammo is not manufactured with the same quality standards as 223. However, there is some things to say of pros to that as well. Because it's not manufactured the same quality, there are some duds in there, and it throws in a few malfunction clearings into your training as well, which you got to make the most of what you got. So something to consider. We will have a full review of this down the road. I believe it'll be a good tool for training here in the future, at least the foreseeable future. And that about does it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you like something like this and different videos like this, make sure to let us know down in the comments below. Leave us a like if you so please, and subscribe if you want to see more content from us. As always, we've got a lot of content in the pipeline coming down the road. Even though ammunition's scarce, we're still doing what we can here. Again, thanks for watching. This has been Chandler with Range Day, where every day is Range Day. Have a good one, guys.
And the temperature of the clouds reaches the dew point. The water will condense.